Hey, Kool-aid Krew, what is crack-a-lackin'? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 while we get started so I make sure we have everything here and everybody can hear me. So let me just show you what we're going to be talking about today. Guys, check that out. This here is yeah. It is a solar storm of lots of them. This is Noah. So you can see you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 of them headed our way. Also, we are going to be talking about the newer eruptions on the sun. This right here is the 171. This is an extreme ultraviolet look. And notice how all these sunspots down here, it's very active. We've also got a big coronal hole up here I'll be talking about. Here are those eruptions that's going to be hitting us. This happened back on the 3rd, right there. That's the initial one that they're thinking is going to send us into geomagnetic storm conditions, fairly quickly and fairly intense. Yeah, we will just do that. Now, also, I want to be able to show you. I thought I pulled that up. I didn't. What am I doing here, Wages? What are you doing? What are you doing, man? Come on, Napoleon. Give me some of your tots. Anyway, hopefully you guys understood that reference. Napoleon Dynamite. He's in class and he takes those tater tots and puts it in his in his cargo pants. And the guy next to him says, "Hey, come on, Napoleon, give me some of your tots." He's like, "No, no." Guy kicks his pocket. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, now I know what everybody's thinking because I'm thinking the same thing. Where the heck is this solar storm at? What in the world is going on? What's happening? Right? I mean, I know you guys got to be thinking it. I'm thinking it, just to be honest with you. And that's why I've waited. I've been trying to wait for this thing to start, and it just hasn't. Hasn't started yet. Matter of fact, we are at the lowest geomagnetic conditions that we've been at in over 3 or 4 days at this present time. Check this out. This is the HP. It's the same indice as this. It's just over here at NOAA, they do 3-hour averages. Now, also, I'm not sure if they're using a satellite over here on the HP. I'm not sure where they're actually collecting their data at here. So I need to figure that out before I make some, make some wrong statements there. But you can see how it's got us on the bottom floor, 0, 0 for on that indice. We usually don't see those kinds of readings unless we're in solar minimum. That's really, really low. We see it from time to time during solar max also, but any kind of lengthy conditions like that puts us at risk for cosmic rays. We need some geomagnetism to kind of bounce those away. All right, now this is your first look at the aurora forecast. Now remember, this is tonight's forecast. I am broadcasting right now to you in the morning on the 6th. Okay, this is tonight on the 6th. This is what NOAA's forecast is right now. And then on the 7th, they're saying this. So the next couple days, not tonight, unless this thing hits like right now, okay, would we be concerned about, not really concerned, but would we be out there trying to catch aurora? Now, I would have my camera ready. If you guys are trying to get aurora photography, you guys need to jump on it. Really have that camera ready to go outside, because once this thing starts, it's going to start in a way that is just very, very intense from the get. Okay? In other words, we're not going to have any slow ramp up to a G3. It's probably going to go from nothing to G3. Okay? And we get those from time to time. As I would even say probably about 50% of the CMEs we get hit with do that kind of a pattern. Other ones will kind of come in slow. We'll start seeing warning signs of it getting here. Our magnetosphere kind of, stretch out a little bit. We could kind of sense it coming. Our magnetic field does anyway. But other ones just arrive and bam, there it is, right? So it's about 50-50 in my opinion. I could probably go look at the data and kind of figure that out. But, for what we're talking about, it's really not that important, that kind of a ratio there. But what we're talking about with this aurora, if you guys get any aurora photography, please send it my way. I will definitely show it. Just send it to my email, just like everything else. And in the email, just say, yes, please, Wade, just go ahead and show this. If you want to send me aurora photography and you don't want me to show it, I would love to look at that too. I won't show it. Okay? 100%. I get it. A lot of people make their living off these aurora photography. There's something called the midnight sun and 24 hours of darkness, right? That's when you're inside the Arctic Circle and Antarctic, okay, depending on what time of year it is. And because of our tilt, we get inside that on your latitude line, you will see that we get 24 hours of darkness. Okay, the sun never rises. And it's not a very long period of time that happens, but the closer you get to the poles, the longer that will extend out. Also, that's in the winter. Now, in the summertime for that hemisphere, guess what? You get a time frame where the sun never goes down. It never sets. So, and it's all because of our tilt. And that's why we have seasons, all that, right? And you could go back and you can look at, you can get online right now and you can see that people run businesses off of this phenomenon. They come out here and they say, hey, do you want to experience this? 24 hours of darkness, come up here, and you come on up here and you're gonna be able to see some aurora at the same time. They have cruises and stuff, guys. I mean, it's kind of crazy. There's a whole industry out there running their industry on the fact that we get this 24 hours, right? And I want to make a point right here. Those businesses have been in business for decades. Okay? So what does that mean? That means the daylight hours have not changed in those locations for decades. You guys can catch my point there. Anybody that is concerned with that knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to go there with that today because it starts an argument. And I'm not going to do that. But those same businesses have been in business for however long, and they're still running their tourist business off of that fact. It has not changed. Not substantial at all. It might change a second or two. That's it. Over a period of like 50 years, 60 years. So there has not been no big massive change in that. What would change that? We would have to tilt more. That's what would change that. And yes, we do kind of wobble a little bit, but it's not some big massive 50-degree zipping back and forth. If that was the case, your daylight hours would change immediately. All the sundials on the planet would not work. They just wouldn't work anymore. And that hasn't happened. We've got sundials that have been on our planet in the same exact latitude spot for thousands of years. And they still work today. What does that tell you? So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'll keep moving. Anyway, so guys, I've been trying to wait on this thing to get here. That's why I'm doing a live stream right now. Okay, I've been truly waiting, hoping this thing would hit, so I could show you guys, hey guys, this thing's hitting. This is what's going on. This is how strong it started, that kind of thing. Well, it hasn't hit yet. Now, let me just preface this. You guys have heard me say multiple times, they give themselves plus or minus 8 hours on their forecasting. Okay, if they hit inside that plus or minus 8 hours, their forecast is still correct. Okay, so I really just have to say that. Cemetery, good to see you, brother. Awesome. Good to see you in a minute. Hey, Miss V. That's the only two I can see right now. Anyway, before I get, hey, Aaliyah. You need a nap first? Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. J-Poss is in the house. Okay, come on, Wade. Just focus back. Focus back. All right. So, yeah, you get plus or minus 8 hours in their forecasting. So, what that means over here, remember, this is a 3-hour increment. So, so if we get into a G3 by 9 UTC today, that forecast technically is, they consider that a correct forecast. I'm not saying it's going to get there. I'm not saying it's not. This is why I nowcast. Okay? Because I don't have the knowledge base to look at the data in a way that I could actually draw a conclusion based on that data when these things are going to hit and how hard they're going to hit. Now, I got a general idea, guys. I understand the data points that I look at, right? These. Okay? You guys hear me harp on it all the time. The BZ, right? In my opinion, I'm asked this a lot. What is the single most important effect that we see? What influences this the most? In my opinion, it's this BZ. Okay? And I'm not the only one that shares that opinion. The BZ is basically, it's the magnetic polarity of our magnetic field and the direction that it's pointing. And I'm not going to get into all of what that actually is. But when we're at a -6, we couple with the magnetic fields inside the CMEs. The majority of those magnetic fields couple with -6 or more negative. Okay? In other words, okay, let me do this. This is actually, the aurora is a good way to show you guys this. There's a reason why this aurora oval isn't directly over top of the North Pole. You guys know what that is? It's because our magnetic north is not on the barber pole. Okay? It's not geographic north. We got two North Poles. We got a magnetic north and we got a geographic north. Okay? What I was just talking about with the sunlight in the daylight hours, that's geographic. That has nothing to do with the magnetic north. Okay? So our tilt, geographic tilt, is right around 23.3 degrees, I believe is what it is. 23.4. And yes, it's supposed to move a little bit through multiple years. Okay? It's a natural progression. It does. Eventually, Polaris will not be our North Star. That's a fact. Because of the way that we wobble on our axis a little bit, the Polaris will not be directly north at all times from our point of view. So they have to switch it to a different star that is. Okay? And the same will apply to the South Pole. So, but what I'm saying is, when we're talking about that degree moving, it doesn't have to move that much, is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. We're talking a 1 to 2 degree move. That's it. Okay? And it would change the position of our North Pole enough to where we would have to change it. Because that star is so far away, any kind of movement in our axis, it's going to be there. We're going to have to change it. That's just how it is. Okay? So anyway, I just wanted to, explain that we have we're talking about two different things here. So when we got the aurora oval, it's going to be centered more around our magnetic north. So when we get hit, that's why this aurora moves. That's why you don't see it directly centered up on our North Pole. Okay, because the magnetic energy, or the highly charged particles, is what we should call them, are coming in on magnetic north, not geographic north. Okay, so they're coming in here. That's the center point. Okay? So that means that shifts where you get to see aurora at. Now, take this into consideration too. If it was directly over our North Pole, where would this aurora oval be? Are you hearing me here? That means that this line, whatever distance here to here is, this would have to move north also. So that's where the aurora typically would stop, way up here. So we wouldn't see it as far south. That's what I'm saying. That's why. Because of magnetics. It's coming in magnetically here, guys. Okay? So I hope you guys understand that. I hope I explained that well enough so you guys did understand that. You just got to understand that the magnetic fields are kind of like this. I should show you a graphic. I will in our next live stream. But that's why the aurora oval is not directly centered over top of the North or the South Pole. Okay? And yes, we know that our magnetic north is constantly moving one direction or the other. We know that North and South Pole are racing towards each other. We know this. It's happening. I mean, you can see it in the data. It's not it's not something somebody can really argue. The argument comes, well, what happens when it does its flip? That's when everybody starts talking, right? And we're not going to talk about that tonight. I'm sure I'd probably just started a firestorm in the chat with that, but is what it is. And I'm not going to be talking about that tonight. That's just something I'm not going to do. So anyway, they give us a plus or minus 8 hours. Okay? So with that being said, when these things start coming in, that's what's going to happen. And so let's go over here to the Discover data again real quick so I can explain again. So that is what I'm talking about. That BZ, that negative tilt. So when we start to tilt as far as our magnetic field itself, this is what we should be looking at. Okay? This is our magnetosphere. Right? I've shown you guys this a bunch. Let me find a place here where it shows our bow shock. Right now, guys, our bow shock is way out here. You want to know why? Because we're not getting any geomagnetism. Well, I say that in the last... See what happened here? It jumped from 0 all the way up to 1 already. So we could be starting to get the beginnings of this already. See, that's why I was trying to wait as long as I could. And I just didn't want to not give you guys a live stream today. And that's the whole thing. That's why I wanted to come out here and do this now. So I do apologize for the time. And thank you for the 450 people that are in here right now. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And thank you guys so much for the live stream the other night. That boosted my spirits so much. You guys have no idea. I mean, it just really does. It really did. You guys were just on point. And, well, number one, you guys were gifting memberships and stuff. And I love that because now we got more members. And we can become a bigger family with that. We're definitely going to be doing... I am doing a live stream tomorrow. A members-only live stream. My wife doesn't have any schoolwork to do. So I'll have this room to myself. And I'll be able to do a members-only. So look for that to get posted. Turn your notification bells on. I was going to do it today, but I was waiting on this. So that's my fault. I'm not blaming it on anybody else. That is my fault. I guess I could have popped on here and did a members only. But I was really trying to wait. Because I didn't want to take attention off of this, guys. Because this does deserve some attention. This is a big storm. At least that's what they're forecasting. So, but I'm trying to help you guys understand why this thing is late. And this is why. They give right now, officially, it's not even late. We're just kind of waiting on it to hit. It wouldn't be late until 9 UTC. And if it is late, what that means, that will most likely mean that it's not going to hit as hard. That means it's moving slower. Okay? Does it mean we're still not going to get to a G3 or anything? No, it doesn't mean any of that. All those other factors that we always talk about come into play at that point. Okay? But also, if you look here, they're still forecasting 75% chance of M-class flares and 30% chance of X-class. Stormblade Wages, what's up? Thank you, Stormblade. Appreciate you. Hey, Ron with the 5 gifted. Hey, Leah, there you go, girl. I was actually gonna text you after this and talk to you guys about that. But hey, I'm gonna do this too, guys. I've got some. Hey, Jammer, it's all right. I've got some free memberships that I can give out. I'm gonna give 5 of them out tonight. Okay. Just because of the late live stream. So if you guys want a chance of getting that free membership, you got to be active in the chat. That's how the algorithm will do it. I have no control who gets those, okay? But what I do have control is to tell you guys, hey, I'm getting ready to gift these. Get active in the chat if you want a chance at getting them, okay? So that's just what I'll say. And I'll let you guys know before I get ready to do it. And what I'll do is I'll probably do a roll call. And then as I'm doing the roll call, I'll give the 5 memberships away. Okay? So that's my plan. So, yeah. But thank you, Aaron, for that. And thank you, Stormblade. You guys are rock stars, man. Rock stars. So cool. So cool. You guys are just awesome. Okay. Now, I'll stop and give you guys a proper thanks later, too. But, okay. So, the BZ is the single most important data point in my mind. Because if that is in the wrong position, if we're not at -6, it can negate high density, it can negate high speed. Okay? And it can negate both. Because when it's up here in the positive like it is right now, if this storm was to hit at this second, and we are sitting here right now at a VZ at a +4, it's not going to be as strong as what it would be if it was down here like this is at a -7, 6, or 7. So when it's in the positive, it actually is opposite polarity of the magnetic fields inside the CME. So it deflects. Guys, just take 2 refrigerator magnets and put positive to positive and try to push them together. And I know that we've all done this probably as children. I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence. I just want you guys to understand what I'm talking about. And I know you guys are smart. I try to bring it down as far as I can because I'm stupid myself. So, I mean, I have to have those kinds of things for myself to understand. So I don't do that with any intent to insult anybody, just so you know. Because I've been asked that before. You think we're stupid? No, I don't think you're stupid at all. Ever. Never. You guys are smarter than I am. I've learned more from you guys than I'll ever be able to teach you. But just take 2 magnets and try to push them together, positive to positive. And the weaker magnets, yeah, you can get them to touch, but it's kind of hard. Flip it over to the negative. What's it do? By the time it's within 1 or 2 inches of it, they go snap and they connect. That is exactly what happens inside these magnetic fields. Okay? So when we couple with the CME, all those charged particles travel in on those magnetic lines, guys. What magnetic lines? Just like here on the sun's surface. See these right here? These arches? And what you're seeing here on the arches, why you can see that is because those are charged particles traveling on that arc. So that's exactly what happens when we couple. So you could pretend or just kind of think of it as, hey, the CME hits, kind of engulfs the Earth, and then the magnetic effect takes hold, and it just draws it in. I don't really have any other way to kind of explain it to you. Hopefully that helps people understand the gravity of what I'm talking about here. Hey, Ripper! Yeah, Marv and Dex are on tonight, guys. It's Saturday night. They usually take Saturday, Sunday off. Thank you, Rip, for doing that. Hey! What's up? What's up, Ron? Okay, so, guys, you're going to need to stay in tune with Ron over at Emergency Management also. These bigger storms have a tendency to have a seismic uptick. So we're definitely going to see that. Oh, and something else. Let me show you this. That right there. Coronal holes. Anytime a coronal hole, anytime a coronal hole is facing the Earth, okay, and we connect to it, you're automatically put on an earthquake watch, seismic uptick watch. You can go back and look at the data. Every time we have a significant coronal hole facing Earth, the seismicity around the globe increases. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have some big 9.0 rocking whatever, okay? All I'm saying is that the chances of us having an uptick in intensity and frequency of earthquakes are there because of these coronal holes. Also, when we are getting hit with these things, that helps influence it too. So, yeah, I'll just go there with that. So, like I said, that's where my earthquake kind of spiel stops, and that's where Ron can pick it up for me, because I just, yeah, I don't have the knowledge for that. Hey, Dillards, what's up? Gate, aloha. Somebody's in here saying thanks for a CME thing here. Hold on, let me go back and read that. I like that. Okay. Thank you for doing this. I can always tell you've recently done a stream on a new CME when I have a massive headache. Yeah. Guys, I hear that a lot. Post mode soapbox. I hear that a lot, guys. This affects our biological. Yeah, it affects us biologically. That's the better way to say it. We can get headaches. We can get, guys. They actually, and I know it's hard for people to believe this, but they do this now. Heart surgeons will look at solar weather, or geomagnetic conditions and stuff, before they do surgeries, like a big massive surgery that they have to get done, right? Because they know that this affects us, and they want to give their patient the best chance. They're starting to understand this more and more, and I would look for that to kind of increase. And they started first doing that over in Europe, so just so you know. And oftentimes that's what happens. It starts over there and it kind of bleeds over here. Not so popular kind of new techniques and stuff. It's hard, I will say this. The United States does not really jump on new techniques real fast. They like to have it proved out somewhere else. I don't hold a position on that, but, you guys, I'm sure you guys see the same thing. But, and I'm not trying to say that this is going to cause somebody to, have the big one, Dorothy, I'm coming to see you type of thing. No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that they do take this in consideration, and they allow this to now be a part of their formula when they do heart surgeries. So that's what I'm saying. Just so you understand. So my point is clear there. Again, guys, look, we can sit here and look at these models all day long. And it does look like, well, yeah, I'm just not seeing anything hitting right this second. What I will say, guys, the HP did jump up this last time. So we're going to have to wait and see. And also, when I look at the Discover data over here, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here. I'm not seeing any, well, I am seeing the density and the speeds going up, and so is the temperature. Everything's moving up right now. Also, the phi angle's kind of going back towards the positive there. The BZ's not moving a whole lot, though. So we're just got to wait and see. It does look like everything's starting to move a little bit. But we'll, again, I can't tell you exactly when these things are going to hit. I can't. Most people can't. So that's just what I'll say. All right. Now, let's see what Dr. Tony Phillips is saying. Yep. He's saying the same thing I am about this anyway. I didn't see that first article there. I came over here to show you guys this. This is cool. This is the Eiffel Tower, and that's that comet. Very cool, guys. As we get closer and closer to, I believe it's was it October 8th or is it October 12th? When this thing is supposed to be the brightest. Let's see. 9th. I was wrong on both dates. The 9th. So what's going to happen with this comet, guys? You're going to get forward light scattering. And what that means is the dust that's with this comet, the sun's going to be reflected off that dust forwardly to our planet, our direction. Why is it going directly forward light scattering right at Earth? Because it's passing the plane, it's passing the sun on the exact same plane that we are at that particular time on the 9th. Okay? What that means is, as it's coming down, and I guess I could just show you this. Let's just do this. Okay, yeah, we'll just do it this way. Okay, let's go to NASA. Right here. You see this orbital line? Actually, we're going to use this one. This is a side cut. You see this side cut? This is Earth, and this is the sun. Pretend my cursor is the comet. So it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, and boom. Right there. See where my cursor is? A straight line to there. It's crossing, it's going to be in that position on the 9th. So any dust that's there, sunlight's going to get scattered towards our planet. Now the next day it's going to be down here. So it won't be exactly on that plane, so it will not be as bright. That's why. Okay? Again, it's a phenomenon called forward light scattering. You guys can look that up. It happens a lot with any comet really that comes through here. Okay? That's what I'll say. Alright. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. Okay, guys. Get your last chats in there. I'm going to do this. You guys give me a roll call in there. Start lighting that chat up. I'm going to wait a couple seconds here, and then we'll do it, okay? But one thing, while you guys are getting your last chats in there, I will go up here to the heliosphere and show you guys these big, huge sunspots. These are naked eye sunspots. What does that mean? That means if you go outside and you take proper eye protection, such as your eclipse glasses from back in April, remember? Or UV protection from like a welder's glass, something that's going to protect your eyes like you know it's supposed to, and you go outside and you look at the sun, you're going to see these sunspots with your naked eye. Okay? They're that big. Especially this one. So I'm going to zoom in here. Sunspots. Pacific Ocean on a raft. Good luck, West Virginia. Colorado Rockies. Roseville. Okay, awesome. But right here, guys, look at this. So if you were to like measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 Earths tall, and probably about what? 1, 2, 3, about 5 wide. That's a big sunspot, guys. Very, very big sunspot. So that's just what we'll do with that. So let me go over here to SDO before I hit that the membership thing. Keep putting your stuff in there, guys. Let's see here. Let's do it on this one. Let's do the 211 because we'll be able to see this coronal hole pretty easy on this one. Okay, so there's your coronal hole up there. You can see the, again, we're looking at the 211 angstrom. That's it. All other light is filtered out of there. Okay. So, all right, I'm getting ready to drop these. Okay. Let's see who gets them. There you go, guys. Whoever gets them. There they are. Who got them? Let's read them. Let's see who got those. Jaded Hunter got one. Angel's Dreams, Tammy Hinton, Angela Schneely, and Chris Treat. Congratulations, guys. You guys got yourself some free memberships there. Awesome. hopefully you guys will turn on your notification bells, okay? When you do that, you'll get notified of when I do my members only live stream, and oh, for sure, Tammy, for sure. I've been saving those. I'm serious. They give us as channel creators. You guys need to tell other channel creators this too, that you guys go and watch. They might not even know that this is a thing. They allow us to give one membership away every month for free. So just so you guys know that, a lot of people won't do it. A lot of channels won't even do it. I don't know why. You know, they can do it just like that, like I just did it. You know what I mean? Give them a warning. Say, hey guys, get active in the chat if you want a chance at getting this. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, there you go. Go tell other people to use that. I don't know if they even know it's there. So, you know, it ain't something that they put on blast. You know, they gave us notice of it like a year or so ago, but I don't see hardly. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody else do that like I just did it. Have you guys? I'd be interested to know that. Have you guys seen any other channel do that? If you have, let me know. I still got 5 more, and we'll be doing that later on, and not tonight, but you know, at a later time. So, and I did get cards and stuff sent out too, so just so everybody knows that too. I didn't forget about that either. That happened a while back. I forgot to mention it to you guys. Okay, so we got this Corona hole backspace weather, guys. I'm sorry. But I did want to gift those out, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. You know, I wish I could do more. Yeah, you guys haven't seen nobody else do that, right? I mean, is the BZ jumping up, Chris? Yeah, it could be, man. It could. That's actually a good point that I could touch on real quick. Yeah, you see that, guys? See what he's talking about? When that does that, it's the same as if you see it jump down. If we've been staying consistent, like right here, and all of a sudden it's jumping up, see, it's jumping up, and so is everything else. Right? So what does that typically mean? I've said this a bunch. This means that we're probably starting to get hit. And what that will mean, if this stays in the positive, it will deflect things a little bit more. Now, I don't want you guys to let your guard down either, because that doesn't necessarily stay there. A lot of times when we get a first initial hit from it, we'll go positive for a few, and then all of a sudden we'll go bam. I mean, we'll just drop out in the negative big time, and we'll take some big gigantic hit, right? But at the same time, you know, we don't want to over-exaggerate things. But things do seem to be moving pretty consistent. And like I said, guys, when you see all these data points, okay, just do this. You guys see these balls right there? I'm going to take my cursor and I'm going to move it to the right. And watch all 4 of those, well, the 3 here, the orange, the purple, and the green, which is the density, the speed, and the temperature. Watch how consistent they are with one another. Watch. See that? They're moving the same direction, guys. What does that mean? That means that we're probably getting hit. They're not all 3 going to move at the same time unless that's happening. Now, I'm not saying we're taking some big gigantic hit right now. It could just be a typical space weather ambient condition, maybe a small increase in the solar wind or whatever. That happens too. But when you see a massive movement like that, and they all 3 move, that's when you're like, hey. But that's a good point, Chris, what you said a minute ago, this thing jumping right up. Also, when you see the BZ and the BT start to come real close together, sometimes that's also an indication that we're starting to get hit. So I'm going to be looking here in the next, hour or two, see what happens here. Obviously, I won't be online here with you guys, but I will be back probably early afternoon, maybe late afternoon, just depends. And remember, guys, I am going to work in a members only tomorrow, 100%. I have the time. We're going to be home tomorrow, first time in a long time, and I'll be able to be here in my, well, I guess you could call it a studio. It's not really, that. It's just a, yeah. I share a room with my wife here. It's a she's a seamstress on the side. She went to college for it, so it's her sewing room, and I got like a little corner with my computer and stuff on it. So anyway, hey Jammer, I seen your message, by the way. I just looked at it when I sent the notification out here. Okay, so just a little bit of a rundown here, guys. Okay, they're still forecasting the G3. Yes, they were thinking it was going to hit a little earlier. But right now, they've changed it. And I will say this too. This is now increasing. This is solar wind. This was not this high earlier. So we could be getting, like, you know, the beginnings of what's going to be happening here. But they are still forecasting a G3. Now we're going to go into G3. And it's been my experience that this is not going to pan out exactly how they have it mapped out. Okay? It's going to be up and down, but it should be fairly close. We're going to be in storm conditions for quite some time. If things really do hit like they're showing here, okay? If they do hit like this, I promise you we're going to have more than just 24 hours of geomagnetic uptick. Okay? That's a lot. That's a lot of geomagnetic activity right there. And a lot of it's supposed to hit us. So, I'll just say that. Remember, they give themselves plus or minus, 8 hours. But, so, if that hits like that, we will be at geomagnetic storm level for quite some time. So, keep that in mind. Which means Aurora is going to be off the chain. It really should be if we get hit like this. Even their forecasting is saying, hey, we're going to see some decent aurora here. Have your cameras ready. Get out there. Get some stuff. It's going to be really cool. Also, Evolution Studios. Go check out his YouTube channel. Okay? He's coming back to YouTube. I guess he skipped away for a minute. But he's the guy that I showed you guys the aurora from... let's see if I can't just grab it real quick. I'll grab it for you so you guys can see it, okay? Where's it at? I think it's this one. Yep, it's that one. This one right here, guys. It's Gary Mustard II. He got this back on early September when we had that big G4 storm. He sent these to me because he said the aurora was moving the opposite direction than what it typically does. So, yeah, I believe this is from Canada. It was it Northwest Colorado, I believe, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure it was Colorado. But typically aurora moves from right to left, which would be east to west. But we do see it move from west to east. And I went into some great detail on that before. Not going to do it tonight for you guys. But that's just some really cool stuff right there. Okay, so anyway, we do look for that. What's causing that storm? This is. Okay? And it'll show up right here. I'll show it to you when it happens. I'm going to pause it this time. Okay, right there. This is 3 separate eruptions. Okay? Remember that. I showed it to you guys already on SDO. This is coming from 3 separate spots on the sun. But the initial blast, you see this haze in between them? If I back that up, you see how it's here now? That's called a halo eruption. That means it's coming right at Earth. This is a physical disc on the camera. So we can't tell if it's going directly off the back or coming right at us unless we go look at a different satellite and we could time it out. And we did, and we seen it on this particular satellite here. Okay, this is SDO. So yeah, so it's coming at us, guys. Also, remember, guys, this coronal hole up here, when it gets close to the Earth strike zone, we're going to connect to it, and we're going to get faster solar wind. Why is that black? That is not a hole in the sun. That's actually the surface. The surface of the sun is colder than the atmosphere. I know it's hard to believe, but that's actually the truth of the matter. Okay? They sent the Parker ST probe out there. That's the one that they said they sent out there to kiss the sun, right? So they got it into the atmosphere of the sun and took some data. So now they've got some really cool theories and good ideas of why that is, why the sun's atmosphere is hotter than the surface. I would also point out, guys, that coronal hole right there, I know it's small, but we probably did connect to it at some level. Also, solar wind can help steer CMEs. Remember, we're talking about magnetics. So whatever's coming out of the sun close to these coronal holes, if it's anywhere near those CMEs, it can either pull them one direction or push them the other. Okay? Now remember, like I said, negative to positive, it'll draw it together. Positive to positive, it pushes it away. Negative to negative, pushes it away. So we got to keep that in mind with all this stuff happening. Okay, and then, guys, if you guys get a chance, please don't forget about this comet. This is going to be, we don't get to see very many of these kinds of events in our lifetime. We've been really fortunate this year to have a lot of those kinds of events. The big eclipse and all that kind of thing. Now we're seeing this comet here. It's supposed to be a daytime comet. What that means is you should be able to go outside and see this thing with your naked eye during the day. That's how bright they're saying it's going to be. They're comparing it to Comet Lovejoy back in 2011, I think is when it came through. But it was bright too, if you guys remember that. So don't, put the phone down, or put the phone in your pocket at least, and go outside and look up. I mean, I have to do the same thing to myself. I have to tell myself, hey, let's go look at this, guys. Let's go check this out. I don't want to miss this. This isn't going to come back. You'll never see this thing again, guys. This thing right now is actually on its way out. It's already made its trip around the sun. It's slingshotting back out now. This thing will never come back in our lifetime. So just understand that. How important that is. Not really important, but how unique, I should say. Now, also, Aurora. Go get your Aurora, guys. Send them to me if you want me to show them. I'll show them. I'll put your name on it and everything else if you want me to. I love showing those kinds of things. And like I said, guys, don't forget about the naked eye sunspots. Get out there and get your eclipse glasses on. Get you a really good welder's glass if you need it. Just wear the proper eye protection. I can't stress that enough. God gave us two eyes. We don't want to damage them. We're not getting two more. Okay? So, they're damaged enough as we get older. So it's not damage them anymore when we don't have to. Okay? We don't want to miss seeing our grandbabies and all that kind of stuff, or our babies, right? So be responsible with that, and be a good example for your, maybe you got your grandkids or your kids at the house. Be an example for them. Show them this stuff. That way they know. You know what I mean? How else are they going to learn? They're not going to hear this at school. I promise you that. Ain't nobody talking about this but me and the other people in Space Weather community here. You know what though? I was surprised. I was so surprised. I was flipping through and I seen a mainstream, I think it was a Fox affiliate channel, was talking about, hey, we might get to see some aurora down south, far south, because of this storm here. It kind of shocked me a little bit, to be honest. I was pleasantly shocked, I should say. So this right here is the kind of aurora you can we might be able to see. Gary Mustard did a great job over this. That's his evolution photography, but his channel is Evolution Studio. So go check him out over there, guys. He's got some pictures of air shows and everything else over there. Just a good channel, man. Go check it out. But so that's kind of the rundown of what we went through here today, guys. We're still waiting on this thing to start hitting, and when it does, you guys know I'm going to come here and let you know. Before I let you guys get out of here, though, I want to show you this one more thing and say thank you for just listening to some redneck hillbilly talk about the sun, okay, and space weather. So I'm going to pause this and run it to the end here. Okay, guys, listen. Listen to me. This storm, I'm just going to say it, it's hitting right now. Okay? I can look at that right there and tell you that that is the beginning. Chris hit it right on the head. Good job, Chris, if you're still here. He's, you know, like I said, I was going to go back and look at this Discover data anyway, but he typed in there and said, hey, check out the BZ. It's going north far. When that happens, what I say? Look, it's trying to creep north. And everything down here was moving. I just went through that. And now looking at this, our magnetosphere, watch this. Watch right here on the end. See that? That right there, friends, is a Kool-aid Krew. That is the beginning of a solar storm, probably. Okay? You can even see the magnetic pressure is getting increased here also. See that? See how it grew right there on the end? So, yeah, this could be the beginning of it. That's not a massive hit right there. But that could be the beginning of what's going to happen. So, good job, Chris. Thank you for drawing our attention to that. I might not have went back and really gave that a whole lot more of attention. So, thank you. It's interesting, though. See how we drop back down again? It's space weather is so interesting to me. Again, and the reason for that, because like he said, it went positive. If this BZ goes negative, because right now it's a positive 8. The BZ and the BT are exactly the same right now. And I'm not going to get into what the BT is, but that essentially kind of lends to how powerful something is. But I'm not going to go into detail on that. But with our BZ being at positive 8, it's actually deflecting things a lot stronger than what it would be. So we're going to be looking for that to go south. If it goes south real quick, we're going to get into geomagnetic storms real quick. My guess is if this was at a negative 8 right now, we would probably be at a G1 right this second after something like that. That's something that I've seen happen a bunch. So, but anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I do appreciate you. Hope you guys enjoy those memberships, those free memberships. Thank you, AA Ron and Storm Blade, for donating those also. And guys, thank you for anybody that has become a member lately. Donated memberships, super chats, all that stuff. Thank you so much. I was happy to give away 5 tonight. I really was. It makes me happy when I can do stuff like that. But turn your notification bells on, guys. Anybody that's a member or not, turn them on. We're going to be here. And that way you know when I go live, and, you know, we're going to be a family and just do what we do. You know what I mean? All right, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you. Oh, by the way, my mods rock. Hey, Renee. I just seen you in there. Hey, thanks for those gifted members. Hey, BK. Kathy, aloha. Miss B, everybody else. Ilea, Ripper. Anyway. God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.